Hello there, and welcome. Before I get started, I have a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of explaining to do. Do what you do on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and thumbs up, the like thing. It'll really help in support of me. I'm assuming that's why you're here. To be honest, I've been thinking about what this was going to be for a very long time. So I appreciate you checking it out. I have a lot to say and a lot of thoughts that I want to share. And I'm sorry about what it looks like here. I'm moving. It's getting real. So join me. You know, not a lot of people know me personally outside of what I've done professionally for the last decade and more. But that's because that's really all I've done for the last decade. I feel like I set off to chase this dream 11 years ago. And as I left Central Illinois, as I was packing up my apartment, is when I met my wife for the first time. And we talked about moving to St. Louis, is where she was from. And we connected, we fell in love, we got married. And it's been 11 years of going back and forth, up and down I-55 nonstop, from Bloomington Normal to St. Louis and back again. And then to Chicago and back again to St. Louis again. And honestly, I never have had the opportunity to really be with my wife. And I think I'm ready for that to change, because the whole idea was that we were down here chasing that dream. Let's talk about dreams. You've got them. You probably set goals. Maybe you're one of those people who is goal oriented. You say, I want to do this. I want to do that. It's kind of how you get through some of the things that you feel like are on, maybe it's a bucket list. Or I know for me, I remember dreaming about, what's your dream car, right? What's that car you said you're going to have one day? For me, I remember going, you know what? I really want to have a big black Tahoe. It's big. Like, my family worked for Chevy all throughout our history in mid-Michigan. And I just thought that would be cool. And I did that. I always wanted to produce music. I was never really great. I had guitar lessons. I took piano lessons. I had drum lessons. I can play them all a little bit, but I always wanted to make music. And now I get to record my wife, who's a vocalist for a band. I get to produce music. That was a dream once. And I've done that. I remember dreaming about falling in love and meeting someone, right? And getting married and having a family. And I did that. You set these goals, right? You want to do these things in life. I wanted to have a successful radio show in a large market. That's what we call the cities that the stations are on in the radio business. And if you can get into a large enough market, there might even be like a budget there, and they'll have people that'll work with you, and they'll do all kinds of amazing stuff with you. If you're successful, they will help you. And we did that. We had a successful morning show in a big city. We did it in St. Louis when they needed some freshening up here. There was a wave of music that came out just at the perfect time as we came on, that it all worked out really well for us. It led to us going to Chicago, and then corporate made decisions to replace us with syndication, which cost, I think, millions of dollars in the first case. And it actually happened again in Chicago, but they also filed bankruptcy at the same time. So yeah, what are you going to do? You know, as a creative person, someone who is a performer, those things can kill you, because creatively, mentally, you are like, as long as I do everything I'm supposed to, as long as I am creative and entertaining and we get the ratings and everything is good, we'll be good. And that's not true, especially in a world of corporate businesses making decisions that aren't worried about the state of what you do or the art that you may make, more worried about the spreadsheet and keeping their own jobs, right? And I get it. We've all got a job to do. No hard feelings anywhere. Life happens. We're all here now. So what have I been doing? Good question. Thank you for asking. Not a lot. Sold a few things on the Facebook marketplace. Played Resident Evil Village. The Bad Batch on Disney Plus has been great. You know, distractions from these things that might eat away at your brain and make you think that maybe it's time to quit. I think it's good to have distractions, sure. But I'm also someone who thinks you need to be able to deal with what's real, and that's where we are. So I am finally in a position to take hold of my own fate. And you may not realize it, but when you work on a team for so long with someone, all the things you say, it all falls on them too. All the emotions, all the thoughts, all the creativity, it has to go through another filter of another person, and it has to work out. And it's hard to make it perfect. I'd almost argue that there's no way to make it perfect. So what am I going to do? I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I've been thinking a lot for a long time about it. I'd love to just like wake up in the morning, maybe grab a coffee, go live with you, maybe here on YouTube and just kind of talk about what's going on. And I've got a lot of stuff to say. Sometimes songs can just get in the way. I think I'm probably always going to be some sort of an entertainer, a creator. That's kind of what I do and have done. I've always said radio people were like the first bloggers, the first people who would come on the air and tell you about your favorite band, and then websites started up, and then Perez Hilton started drawing on people's faces in MS Paint. We got TMZ, and now we're here today. I think that a lot of us want to talk about these things that are going on in the world with someone, and that's kind of what I want to do. Whether it's a story about entertainment or the world news, stuff that's really happening in this world, whether it's funny or sad, I think that there's a place for it. All of that comes together as, for some of us, an escape, and we all need that sometimes, and I totally understand that. So I hope I can help to provide that. Whether it's just commentary on what's happening in the world, a reaction to what's going down, maybe a live chat with you, a vlog, a video I made, some song I wrote. It'll probably be here on this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. It's actually my second YouTube, third, fourth. I've got a bunch of YouTube channels, but you may not know about all of them. But this one is mine, where you will find the things that I make, that I create, the things that maybe you heard me talk about, maybe you saw me post. So I hope you'll subscribe. It's free on YouTube. It costs you nothing to keep up to date with what I'm doing, whatever that may be. And for the first time, with no one telling me I can't do that. I feel like I'm just now contemplating what it will be like to make things with no one telling me that I can't. I don't know if I've ever been in this position, but I hope you'll join me for it, whatever it is. It goes on in the real world, and we'll probably talk about it if everything goes as planned. I do have ideas. I do have things I've been working on, but the first thing I got to do is pack and move and also find a job. You know, things. But I'm hoping that you'll join me for it here if you subscribe or if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or any other platform. I'm hoping that you will be here to support me as you have in the past. So whatever that may be, entertaining, funny, it might get real. Real things happen. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's unemployed and has to pack and move his family in the next month. I don't know where we're going. Do you have a job? Can I stay at your house? I'm only kidding. We're okay. But you are looking at someone who wants to finally, like a lot of people, take their lives into their own hands, to take control of their own fate. And I'm already working on that through several different sources. And as soon as I can say more, I will. Over the last 10 to 15 years, I feel like I have lived to work. And that may have been a mistake. I've neglected my family, my friends, my own mental health. I feel like now is a great time to go be with my wife and with my family and move into the next phase of my life, whatever that may be. If you're keeping up here with the channel or on any of the social medias that I mentioned before, then you'll know how to keep up to date with what's going on with me. I hope you'll take this opportunity to get to know me, my passions, the things I'm interested in. I hope you'll take this opportunity to get to know me a little bit better. My work, my family, my passions, the things I'm into, what I have to say. You know what's crazy? Over the last, as long as I can remember, every one of my bosses has told me what I'm going to say in the statements made publicly through radio trade magazines. You know, when you get a job or something happens, like when we moved into a morning show position, I would send my boss the thing that I thought I would like, oh, it's such an honor. You know, you put a little quote together. It never came out the way I sent it. This might be the only way for me to actually get you what I'm thinking without having to go through the filter of a creative partner, without having to go through the filter of my boss. Just me here. So thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate you checking out the video. Oh, and if you saw any stories about me in the news, just know that I still make noise. Thank you for putting up with me. And I hope to see you again soon.